Does anyone else hate when you record a long video and then you find out you've been muted the whole time? Oh, I'm so sad, guys. So this is the 4th video in our series, but I have recorded a 4th video before this, and it was a very, very long one, and I get through the whole thing, and all kinds of exciting things happen, and then I realize I've been on mute the whole time. Oh my god, I want to cry. It's so sad. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to leave all that in place because I don't want to replay it. So we're going to think of it as a little time skip. I also went in afterwards in frustration and then just sort of built out some extra boring things, sort of expanded our mining network, built out some extra bases just with storage and things, some things that are maybe a little less exciting for the stream. So that lets us get into the real nitty-gritty here. But I also don't even remember if there's things that I haven't told you about, and there's what I've explained and what I haven't explained. So there's a bit to catch you up on. So what we've done in the meantime, so I believe the last time that you saw... Oh, got an attack coming. Okay, well, let me pause for a second while we talk through this. So I believe the last time you saw, we were getting ready to go in to get some uranium, set up uranium deposits. Well, we've done that. We've gone to the desert. We've set up a base with all kinds of uranium extractions and centrifuges to turn that crude uranium into processed uranium that we can use in nuclear power plants. We've set up a couple of nuclear power plants back at the main base. Where are they at? Down hereabouts. So we're getting really, really juicy power. We actually got a little more tech so we could even upgrade them more, so they're super, super efficient. Where's our attack coming from? To the west. We've explored sort of all of this starting area and set up mines all over the place just to make sure that we are well equipped, well prepared for getting as much resources as possible. Really, really just pumping all that crude oil straight out of the land, as it were. We've also, interesting, I've also been setting up all sorts of forward military bases around the place to try and hold the line when the enemies attack. I think I could use maybe one more right here. Would be sensible. Might be a bit late to be building this one because we're about to be attacked.
Too close to another portal.
But we'll give it a go. So yeah, so we fought off all kinds of attacks. Oh, we had some epic battles. I will tell you about the epic desert battle in 1 minute here. I'm so sad I don't have these to show you guys. I'm just heartbroken over basically losing the footage because I'm not gonna go back and dub over it all for you. I love you guys, but I don't love you that much. We're not dubbing over everything that we missed there. So yeah, there's lots to do. Plenty more game to play with here. It's just gonna be a little time skip, as it were, for us here. Okay, we got 40 seconds and we got baddies coming in. Let me talk about items real quick. So we switched up our items. We've got ourselves a blue rarity immolator to work with, that sort of fire gun we were shooting before. And then my other go-to has been a charged bomb, which does this cool thing where I can kind of click anywhere,
base is under attack,
and it starts a little lightning charge there, and boom, it explodes in a big lightning explosion there. And I can do a bunch of them, so I can kind of like sort of pick anywhere around and do those. I also have switched, instead of a dash, I have a teleport, so wherever my mouse is, I can teleport to it really quickly. And I've switched out a lot of my landmines to sort of longer cooldown, bigger things. For example, I've got a tornado like so. Oh, look at that go. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, I love it. What else have we got? Maybe we'll save, well, no, we don't need to save anything. We've got an artillery strike. Drops this big bomb down, or this big blue ball down, and then, or not big blue ball, but it sort of highlights the area, and then starts dropping artillery rounds on it. It's an orbital strike, actually, I believe is what it is. And it is glorious. I love it. It makes me very happy. We also have sort of an antimatter ball, which shoots out this sort of red glowing ball in front of us and sort of zaps everything that it goes through. Very fun, very cool, totally legal. But the trouble is, these are all, I think they're all on like 90-second or 2-minute cooldowns. So they're a bit. After I use them, I gotta wait a while, right? So I try to save them up more typically for the likes of something really gnarly, a big critical mass of bad guys. Okay, this fight's going pretty well with all of our new toys to play with. I think we still got baddies down south.
An energy connector has been
I'm not
destroyed.
entirely sure I like our teleport movement ability, and I'll tell you why. Oh, there's all giant rock men. Let's give him the tornado. Whoosh. It's beautiful. I love that tornado. The reason I'm not sure I love the teleport is because the dash just moves you already in whatever direction you're moving. So if I'm running sideways and I just dash sideways. But the teleport teleports me towards where my mouse cursor is, which sometimes gets me in trouble because I'm so used to just sort of backpedaling or circle strafing something, and then I dash like away, whichever the direction I'm already going. But because my cursor is more over what I'm shooting at, if I'm not paying attention, I'm much more likely to use my teleport and then just teleport right into next to what I'm shooting at, which has caused some issues. But I still feel like the teleporting is pretty dang cool, so we're gonna try and stick with it as best we can here. All right, what's next on the docket? I think what's next on our list here. I won't bother showing you all of the extra bases we built up. We headed out to the uranium mining outpost. We built an outpost there. It's getting us all kinds of uranium and a little extra carbonium and stuff. We headed out to the cobalt mining outpost. This was a pretty quick trip, but we set up some basic cobalt and carbonium mining out there as well. And I think it's time for us to go investigate the acidic plains. Let's do that. Let's go right now. Let's see what there is to see in the acid plains. It sounds like a nice place. Should be lovely. I know that it's got lots of slime, so maybe we can start bottling slime and shipping it home, and we can use that to make the flammable gases that we use to power those gas plants. Those would be good. I know there's also some resource out here. I think maybe the acidic plains have palladium or something like that. One of those rare metals we need. What do you think, Mr. Riggs? Ashley, you got any news for us here?
Grid jump successful. Environmental scanning in progress. Ashley, my senses are indicating a highly acidic atmosphere composition.
Fluoric acid condensation is definitely abnormal compared to what we've seen in other parts of the planet. Something must be emitting the acid straight into the air. Let's look around to see what we can find.
I also got these bioscanner turrets, so I can just walk around and drop a bioscanner turret and it'll scan everything around me that needs scanning, which is a really nice little quality of life thing I don't gotta worry about.
These red crystals are
myself.
really huge. Look at how the light is scattering below their surface. It's mesmerizing.
They also contain a lot of rhodonite. We can use this mineral to construct high-powered laser
rhodonite.
emitters for our weapons as well as other equipment.
You already had me convinced at lasers. We definitely need to learn more about these crystals. We should research rhodonite handling as soon as possible. The acidic fumes are much denser near this growth. This thing must be responsible for the highly corrosive atmosphere in this area.
This life form is multiplying very rapidly. It is subdividing its cells, similarly to Earth-based yeast. The fluid inside these cells is highly corrosive. Please keep a safe distance.
There must be much more of this acidic yeast growing here. The orbital scanner report indicated that this entire biome is covered in these fumes. We should study it further before setting up a permanent outpost in this area of the planet.
Ashley, I strongly suggest using a bioscanner to gather samples from these life forms. The fluid inside them is a highly condensed acid that can easily burn through my armor. The bioscanner will allow us to gather samples from a safe distance.
A new technology has been developed. New buildings are available for construction.
Oh, uh-oh, this was one that caused an army to attack. Oh boy, we might have a big fight on our hands here. I thought that was just a little anomaly that we could scout. But nope, we've got all kinds of baddies. We'll give them the fire tornado. Nuke 'em, Rico.
Weapon dropped.
Oh no, you know what I did? I teleported right into the baddies there, just like I told you I was gonna do. I don't know if I like that teleport. I think my muscle... It's okay. When we die, we just respawn in this where we started. So we'll be okay. We just gotta go back and pick up our weapon. I don't know, I might need to live without that teleport. What can we do? I don't care about research. What can we do for different movement skills? Oh, we could do an extreme fire dash now because it takes a bunch of cobalt and hazenite, which I do have. Let's do that. Let's go back to a dash. I think I would just feel much more comfortable, and I feel extra silly dying in front of you folks. Fire dash. Let's do that. Whoosh. Okay. So, what we've determined is that the acid plains have basically plants or like yeast-like things that
New blueprints are available for
my goodness,
crafting.
these guys are hitting hard. I need like some better armor. That's crazy. Basically have yeast-like things that multiply and spread tons and tons and tons of acid or little pieces of themselves that are acidic around these things, these yeast colonies. And we can kind of blow them up, but they regrow super fast. So the big thing in the acid biome is that we've got to figure out a way to deal with those fast spreading yeasty structures, as it were. Now that we died, all that huge wave of monsters are gone, so we can go finish off this point of interest. But we need to scout around, and we gotta find... Uh-oh. Bugs. Get off me, bugs. There's these crazy giant walker aliens, and they like sick flies on you.
Change in wind power. This may affect our wind turbines.
Okay, here's a couple more little yeasty vines. Fermentus acidus. Acidic yeast.
Wind has stopped. This will affect wind turbine power generation.
Crazy. It's a very pretty biome, actually, with all of the greens and the reds. Almost Christmassy. Okay, here's a whole bunch more yeast for us to work with. Ooh, yeah, these hits are coming in crazy. I might have to switch to something that's a little more armor-based, dare I say, rather than just picking up loot. Because I'm taking a lot of damage just wandering around here. Oof, duh. Okay, there we go. We got 7 samples so far. I think that's all of them
A building
here.
has been destroyed.
There's another one. Okay. Bugs. Oh my goodness, they're so hard. Uh-oh, hit all my buttons at once. Dropped all the cooldowns. Got excited, or rather scared there. Tried to
Wind
smack
power
all
is
my
returning
defensive
to normal.
cooldowns and just dropped all my offensive ones at the same time. Burn it all down. Alright, so there's tons and tons of slime to work with, like I'd mentioned. So slime and stuff, or getting slime to make those what's the word? Those, what are they, natural gas maybe? Let me look at them. It's escaping my brain. Yeah, just a gas power plant. There's tons and tons of slime in the biome to work with, so we can get gas power online, so we will want to make sure we're putting maybe an emphasis on some of the gas tech if we're not already. We've got a lot of tech queued up, so there's plenty. We'll sort it out. Plenty to get done, but once we start building bases out here, we will want more of the gas power plants, because that's just the natural way. I think each of the unique biomes that we go to has sort of a best-in-class method for doing power generation. I think. Yeah, desert's got our desert bases. We utilized the solar cells really heavily because there's so much sun, so hot in the desert, and those were actually really useful. What I did was and also in those expansion bases, because they had a lot more space to work with, I opted to build an awful lot of metal storage out there too, because the metal storage.
Okay, that's enough samples to start researching them in the alien research lab. Interesting. We found traces of palladium inside the acidic yeast samples that we just collected. It might be a good idea to search for larger colonies of this life form. They might indicate the location of higher concentrations of palladium. The acidic yeast colonies that we've observed seem to grow from a central root inside the colony. I'd like to study a living colony in its natural habitat to gather more data on how it gathers palladium from the environment. We'll need to construct a local research station near one of the colonies in order to do that. We'll have to download the necessary technology for that building if we don't have it yet.
Ashley, I'm afraid that the research station will not be able to scan the colony from a safe distance. It would have to be placed very close to the root of the colony to work properly. We will not be able to build anything that close to the root without being overwhelmed by its growth, especially given the fact that we do not want to destroy it.
I think that we can prevent the colony from overgrowing our base by covering the soil with a structure that the acidic yeast can't grow on.
Standard floor tiles are going to be corroded by the colony.
We can prevent that. Now that we know the type of acid that this life form is producing, we can research special anti-corrosive flooring that will protect our base. We just need to build the research station on the anti-corrosive floor tiles.
All right, so we got a plan. Let's check our
Research
tech.
completed.
We did get some interesting tech done, actually. We can research rhodonite, environmental shielding acid, anti-corrosive floors. Those sound just like what we want. So we're going to bump those to the top of the list. Should be very quick researches to get those done. Anything else in here we need? We were talking about gas. Okay, so we can get level 3 gas stuff. And these take palladium to build, which is good, because we will likely find some palladium real soon here. Mission completed. Use the scanner to get back to your base. Okay, so we will head back to headquarters. We will finish researching this tech. Just gonna take like 1 or 2 minutes. Take a drink of sleepy tea filled with honey. Gotta keep those vocal cords lubricated. Lots to say, lots to do, as long as we're not muting it. I'm still sad about that muted playthrough, guys. I'm so sad. It's alright, it's like a fast forward to some more action here. Okay, we're back in our main base for a minute or 2. Okay, so we researched a higher level of laboratories, so we can add an extra laboratory down in our little
Ashley, I've been
lab
tracking
area.
strange behavior within Galatea's asteroid belt. One of the smaller objects that have been orbiting the planet has recently changed its trajectory.
What's strange about that? Galatea is a relatively young planet and has lots of moons and smaller rocks in its orbit.
I have not detected any collisions in this object's vicinity, or any other force that could affect its movement. It is also heading straight for our headquarters. It should be flying over our position at any moment now.
Okay, you've got my attention. Let's track this meteor and see where it lands.
That does sound fairly
Orbital
ominous.
scan completed. We have located a large colony of acidic yeast. I have marked the rift jump coordinates on the planetary scanner interface. Warning. It is recommended to develop acidic shielding before visiting that location. It is going to be difficult to survive there without it.
We've finished researching Rhodonite handling. We can start researching new laser-based weapons and towers. They are going to be an excellent addition to our arsenal. However, we will first have to gather some Rhodonite to craft the new gear.
The red crystals that contain rhodonite are relatively common in the acidic plains biome. However, I detected an interesting location with a much above normal condensation of their growth. There should be a lot of rhodonite in that area. I've marked the rift jump coordinates on the orbital scanner interface.
Excellent. Let's go there as soon as we've secured the current objective.
The meteorite has landed near our position. I am detecting increased radiation in a very broad emission spectrum. That was not a typical rock.
I'm intrigued. Let's get to that impact location as soon as possible. The meteorite created a vast crater. The ground has a strange blue glow in this place. Is this Cherenkov radiation?
That's possible. I am receiving conflicting readings. Ashley, please move closer to the center of the crater and use the geoscanner to gather more data from the debris.
Okay, is this enough?
Affirmative, Ashley. The remains of this meteorite are emitting huge amounts of dark energy waves. They are off the charts.
That's very odd.
Ooh, dark energy.
What can you tell me about the impactor's composition? It was too small to contain enough dark matter to cause such emissions.
It was almost completely obliterated when it hit the ground. The dust that remains is primarily composed of heavy metal elements. Error. Some of the readings are changing.
How is that possible?
My apparatus is broken, or the sample is unstable. It appears as if some of the heavier atoms are quickly decaying into lighter ones, while others are fusing into heavier elements.
That's nonsense. Such behavior is not possible. That would cause a giant fusion explosion. Nothing could contain so much energy in a stable state.
You are correct, Ashley. However, we still cannot explain the dark energy emissions from this debris.
That's true. We also can't explain why this meteor decided to land right next to our base. That's too odd to be a coincidence. Are there any more objects in Galatia's orbit with similar composition?
Yes. There is a number of similar objects orbiting the planet. They have been here since before we arrived. They have different composition than most of the planet's surface.
Most of the planet's surface? Is there an area on the planet with similar composition as those meteors?
Yes. Our initial planetary scans have mapped a large valley that looks like an ancient impact crater on one of the continents. Its resonance spectrum indicated large quantities of heavy metals. This area does not seem to contain any resources that are required to construct the rift station, so it was not marked as important.
The meteor that landed here must be a fragment of some larger object that collided with Galatia a long time ago, and as a result, created that crater. Mr. Riggs, can you chart rift jump coordinates to that metallic valley?
Affirmative, Ashley.
Okay, let's go there as soon as possible.
All right. Whew. Lot of exposition there. So the gist is there's some crazy shit going down, and we're not gonna go explore it. Not for a while, at least. That is part of the metal DLC. It's got like a whole like metal-based biome. It's awesome. We'll get there eventually, actually. But for the time being, I think we're perfectly comfortable with where we're at.
A new technology
I'm actually just
has
setting
been
up like
developed. New
a tiny
blueprints
little
are
base here,
available for crafting.
because I think this would be a really nice little choke point to have. So I'm opting for some extra defenses here. Okay, so all that was they wanted us to go to the Metallic Valley, a supposed ancient meteor impact crater, but we'll do that much later. We're still fixated on our acidic yeast work here, So we're going to ignore the rhodonite concentration. That one's relatively boring. I think this is the same idea of that we did with our tanzanite, where we found a way to like grow plants that will give us a rhodonite income. I might do that off stream because I think that's kind of boring. But the acidic yeast colony is a little more spicy, as it were, a little more acidic. So we're going to go do that. We're going to go set up an acidic yeast colony. Or a research colony, I think. It's not a proper forward headquarters. Because we need to get ourselves some palladium. Which is used for all kinds of stuff. I think a couple of the different turrets take it, some of those power plants. Oh, and right away we do see that there's some carbonium deposits to work with here as well.
Successful. I am detecting multiple acidic yeast colonies nearby. They are larger than the ones we have seen before, and are growing at a faster rate.
Good. We need to get close to the central root of one of these colonies and construct a research station near it. This isn't going to be easy.
Okay, we gotta find ourselves.
Technology has been developed. New blueprints are available for crafting.
Ooh, an advanced repeater rifle was just researched.
Research completed.
Might be worthwhile. Is also we're getting bouncing blades almost up. We'll have some fun stuff real soon to work with.
One of our buildings has been destroyed.
Oh boy. Any yawns got any of that acidic yeast down here? Uh-oh, I'm kind of stuck in some acid. Oh, don't die, don't die, don't die. Acid! Alright, note to self, don't try and walk through the acid. Still no acidic yeast that I can tell. So no place yet for a base.
A new technology has been developed.
New blueprints are available
Advanced
for crafting.
bouncing blades. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I see it.
This looks like the central root of the colony. Now we have to build a research station close to it to start the scanning procedure.
Remember that we can block the growth of the colony by placing anti-corrosive floor tiles around it. It would be advised to build our entire base on anti-corrosive floor.
Okay, we do got... we got bad guys everywhere is what we got. But we do got a decent little base type thing to work with here, I think.
Weapon dropped.
Oh!
We can try to recover it later.
Something big hit me, and I think I know what it was. There's a guy I saw just off the corner of my screen there, and it's there's like these giant snail creatures. Oh, that's a long walk. There's these giant snail creatures, and they like launch their shells at you, which is cool. You know, respect. I appreciate the game, but looks like I took it right on the noggin there, and it damn near one-shot me. Also, a lot of the guys that we're killing in this biome appear to be like dropping some acid blood behind them, kind of thing. So we want to be aware of that. We're gonna have to be a lot more careful with our movement, I think. Well, there it is. Look at that! Look at that big giant snail guy. Let's light him on fire and electrocute him. Ooh, he explodes nicely. I'm gonna burn up all of these acid mud beast mother truckers. Okay. Only a moment of peace. No, there's another snail down here. Tossing his shell. How dare you, Mr. Snail? Okay. We're gonna do it. We're gonna set up a base. And then we need to switch to our anti-corrosive flooring. Make it as wide as possible. And we're just gonna go nuts with it. Anti-corrosive everything. Especially around these acidic yeast colonies to keep them from, you know, corroding the things that I care about. Clicky, 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 clicky. Okay. Should be good, should be good. I could even clean up and push those in a little bit later.
New blueprints are available for crafting.
Let's see. So we pulled it. So we got blue bouncing blades, purple flamethrowers. But I didn't actually want the flamethrower. What I wanted was access to a purple immolator, which I'm having more fun with. So we'll add that to the list. Purple immolator, please. What else have we got back here? Oh, we could make nuclear missiles or a laser. Yeah, let's research a laser. It looks like we got a bunch of stuff to research. Anti-corrosive armor, acid resistance, that's what I'm talking about. Or a corrosive gun. Yeah, let's put those on the list too. We want it all. But next step is we need to get some power online here. So, what's that gonna be? Oh, someone's shooting at me. You're terminated. I think we're gonna just start pumping out the sludge here, and we'll go straight into like gas power, right? That's what we've been talking about, utilizing all this excellent sludge we have. Okay, so we set up pumps in the slime, and then we set up some pipes. And we're pumping out 800 sludge a second. But we need more palladium in order to build the good stuff. And we don't have the palladium stuff found yet. That's a bit annoying. I guess we're building less good stuff. Okay, so we need like 8 of these things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of course, if we had the higher tier versions, they would be more efficient for us. That's alright, we'll make it work. Okay, 8 of them should make enough gas for 4 gas power plants. 1, 2, 3, 4. And boom. And since we got some carbonium right here, we might as well mine the carbonium up. Okay, we're gonna prune some of this acid yeast. Using our little lightning gun, which seems to work really nicely at the job. And then we'll put down some acid tiles over everything we just cleared. Is that like a root or something?
New technology has been developed. New blueprints are available for crafting.
Advanced explosive weapons. Alright, and then our objective is to build this research station down here.
Research lab operational. Acidic yeast scanning in progress.
Nice.
Great. Now we just have to maintain power to the research lab and let it gather the necessary data.
My sensors are picking up increased movement around our position. We should prepare to defend the research laboratory.
We have to defend the laboratory. I don't think baddies will run that's probably not true. Let's say I don't think they'll run across acid, but I think merely most of them won't run across acid. Not all of them. Definitely if we get attacked by like those swamp fatties. If the swamp fatties come, they will go right across the acid for sure. So let's get some basic defenses up. At least some missiles. Oh no, we're out of... We need AI hubs. We need like a whole real base thing here almost. We are making a decent chunk of power off of our gas here, and there's always more slime around, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I do wish we had the palladium though. I'm a little annoyed that we can't use the higher level stuff yet. Okay, so we need to protect the research station. It's ticking upward every, I don't know, 4 or 5 seconds, and we need to tick up to 150. And then we got an attack coming in a minute 30.
I can feel the ground shaking, and my scanners are detecting small eruptions of acidic gases. I think an acidic eruption is coming.
An acidic eruption? That sounds bad. I don't even know what that would do.
The ground is opening up in some places, and it's spewing strong acidic clouds. The acid is going to corrode everything within its range.
Well, that's not ideal. It looks like it's like a acid version of the earthquake event, something along those lines. Not too bad. We'll just repair whatever pops up. But the trouble is we can't build anything under while we got acid all over us. Oh, that's troublesome. We'll wait it out. We'll have a sip of tea. Head back to the Winchester. Wait for all this to blow over.
Acid is dissolving our base.
Yeah,
The eruption
base is okay.
over.
It doesn't look all that dissolved. You can just sort of walk over and sort of just spray repairs on everything. Okay, attack coming in 2 seconds.
Has been developed. New blueprints
I didn't see
are
which
available for
direction
crafting.
it was coming
Buildings are
from.
available for construction.
Just troublesome.
Base is under attack.
One of our buildings has been destroyed.
Oh no, it's coming from the
An energy
south?
connector
What?
has been
You buggers. That's the one place I didn't want to be attacked. The one direction I didn't want to be attacked by. Mostly they just look like little jumpy buggers. Oh, there's definitely a big guy tossing stuff around back there. Yeah, there's a snail. I hate those snails. A Nurglax. Little Nurgle snails. I think we're okay. Looks like we got things mostly cleaned up. Okay. There go. Oh, they did get our research station there. The one thing we were trying to protect. Glad that wasn't a fail state. That would have been pretty sad. Takes another minute to come back online, so it's just a big slowdown for us, unfortunately. We could opt for a bit of the old walls down on the southern end, at least.
A new technology has been developed. New blueprints are available for crafting.
Superior mech repair. I think that means we can make some better armors and things. We got a wide array to work off of. Reflective armors. There's attacking gear, gives you attack drones and lowers your cooldowns. That's pretty cool. Defensive gear to make you run faster. Defensive equipment gives you force field and some resistance. There's all kinds of neat stuff there.
Research completed.
Let me look. Is there? Oh, wait, yeah. Okay, so we could do better upgrades around here, or we could do better ones over here. Defensive equipment. We could go down this upgrade tree a little bit more before we bother to make stuff. We could tech it out
Base is under
a
attack.
tad more. Here we go. There we go. Please annihilate the enemies. Okay, much better. Oh, there's a whole bunch of Nurgle snails. Alright, we've got that attack dealt with. We're gonna spread some more anti-acid around here. Anti-acid floors. And then do some repairs.
Base is under
Protected
attack.
okay, research station's still
A new
ticking
technology
through.
has been developed.
New blueprints are available for crafting.
Tech is teching.
We're halfway through analyzing the root of the acidic yeast colony. The data is already looking very promising.
Very promising.
Ashley, since you've built up our research station in this area, I've noticed a change in the growth vector of the acidic yeast colonies around us. It appears that all of them are slowly growing in our direction.
That's very interesting. It looks like we've been recognized as a threat.
Very
the
interesting.
colonies are trying to devour our base.
Well, you can't devour our based acidic yeast colonies because we've got acid-proof floors. Yeah, science.
The weather's changing. Wind is slowing down.
There are a lot of waves of baddies coming in, though, so they're not too terrible
Wind has stopped.
as far as baddie
This
waves
will
go.
affect wind turbine power generation.
See, they like an orbital bombardment.
Base is under attack.
There's a lot of guys out here. I feel like that's my takeaway of all of my play on brutal difficulty. Oh, well, there's a lot of guys out here. I know there's supposed to be a lot of guys, but it keeps somehow catching me off guard. Like, wow, there really is a lot of guys out here, though. Dealt with the snails.
One of our buildings has been destroyed.
Something's getting attacked. I think we're okay. 122 of
A new
150.
technology has been developed.
We're almost done
New
with our
blueprints are
research.
available for crafting.
Oh, we could do our upgraded immolator now. We are going to invest. Where are you? No, we need Ferdinite. I don't even know what Ferdinite is. Oh, that's a little bit disappointing. I guess we're not getting an upgraded immolator yet, ladies and gentlemen. We do got a lot of space. Maybe we'll fill up some of this extra space. Some more metal storage. You can never have enough. More. Give me more. We also have these cool things that we researched with tech. Liquid compressors and
A new
decompressors.
technology has been developed. New blueprints are available for crafting.
So we can just pipe liquid into these
Currents are
things,
returning back to
and they
regular
let us
strength.
teleport
Wind
liquid to
turbine
different
power
bases.
Production is returning to nominal levels.
But they're very energy heavy, so I would need a super big energy base to really make use of them.
The research lab has finished gathering
Lab's
data.
finished.
Objective completed.
The data that we've gathered proves that this life form can digest even the smallest traces of palladium. Palladium normally doesn't react with most acids, but this life form uses a highly concentrated form of fluoric acid that is heated up by the creature's metabolic processes. We can program the orbital scanner to analyze the growth patterns of the acidic yeast colonies. This should help us in finding palladium deposits that these colonies are moving towards.
Affirmative, Ashley. Orbital scanning in progress. Analyzing acidic yeast growth patterns. Orbital scanning finished. We have found something interesting. There are a few areas within the acidic plains that are entirely surrounded by the yeast colonies. Spectral analysis confirms that palladium should be present there. However, the yeast is actively avoiding these zones.
Interesting. If there's palladium there and they aren't interested in it, then something might be preventing them from growing in that area. We should prepare for the unexpected.
Prepare for the unexpected. Of course, famous last words. Alright, so we're good here in this little base. Let us go and head to the Gather Palladium ore samples. Because I needs me some palladium up in here. I do kind of like the ready access to all of the slime. The slime is it just feels like such a super efficient way to get power. Just pump the slime straight out and turn it into some gas and cook that gas. I feel like it might be one of our better bases for power generation. How should we put that to use, though?
Successful. Orbital scanning indicated that there should be multiple underground palladium deposits hidden in this area. We can use the geoscanner to find them.
It's actually quite calm in here. That's a bit suspicious, don't you think, Mr. Riggs?
Yes, that is abnormal. I'm not detecting any acidic yeast colonies in the area. The local fauna population also seems to be smaller than in the other areas of this biome.
I don't know how much smaller the population is. This seems pretty full of baddies. Ooh, look at that big fellow. Oh, there's a lot of big guys out here. That's gonna call for a flame tornado. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Oh my god, the flame tornado. It's so big it even picks up the rock guys. It's pretty amazing. I kind of love the fire tornado. What an ability. Okay. Guys, we're supposed to be looking for palladium, not playing with fire tornadoes.
A building has been destroyed.
I think we finally found one. Palladium. Looks like gold bars. Might be a longer search here because we're not coming up with a whole lot of palladium real quick here. Got some.
One of our buildings has been destroyed.
Oh, I promised I would tell you about the great desert debacle that happened in the game that I didn't have for you. So, the desert debacle went something like this. We were setting up our base in the desert to mine uranium. Everything's going great. Having a wonderful time. Feeling invincible like I normally do when things are going great. And we finish the quest basically, and we trigger sort of the end wave of an attack of baddies. And I don't think it's going to be too bad, so I'm not that concerned about it. And the earlier waves have been really easy, so I didn't have a whole lot of defenses in my base. So I see all the baddies are coming from the north.
A new technology has been developed.
And I head up north and I find this perfect choke point that they're all going to have to go through. And so I fortify the hell out of it. I put tons and tons and tons of turrets and defenses just because I have a lot of extra power and a lot of extra resources, and I'm feeling good. We'll just make this, a show of force to really blast away this incoming attack. So the attack is about to show up. It's like 20 seconds out. I'm putting the finishing touches on my defense, and it becomes nighttime. And then it turns out that I hadn't built up quite as much power buffer as I had expected. So I run out of power, and all of my power generation is solar power based. And all of my turrets use power, and the attack is like 20 seconds away.
I'm detecting a sudden
And I go,
change in air
oh
humidity
no.
and wind speed. A fog is forming up.
Oh, a fog's coming. So this gigantic attack that was like 10 times bigger than I actually expected it to be. I thought it was going to be sort of the middle thing, but it's a huge attack. It's a giant wave of baddies.
This
And
fog is very
the
dense.
the defensive
It's affecting the efficiency of our solar panels and wind turbines.
the defensive
Based on my
towers that I've built
calculations, it
to
shouldn't last for long. Danger. Underground explosion detected.
underground
A
explosions.
giant mushroom just exploded under our feet. I didn't expect that. We can use the geoscanner to detect hidden explosives underground. This functionality is normally used for detecting minefields, but we can use it here as well. This must be the reason why the acidic yeast colonies are not present in this area. Let's be careful here.
Ashley, I have located a large underground palladium deposit. I have marked its location on our map.
Great. The ones we've been finding so far were really small. Maybe we can find something that we can place an automated mining station on.
So this giant attack comes in, like I'm saying, and
The fog is
just
clearing up.
as it's coming
This will
in,
make things easier for us.
I lose all my power and none of my defenses are working. So it's like
The palladium deposits
2 a.m.
that
in
we've been
game
finding
time.
here are too small to build a mining station.
Yeah.
However, we've learned how to find it.
We've
The
learned how to
data
find
gathered
it. How
with
are we
the
gonna get
geoscanner can
palladium?
be fed to the orbital scanner to search for mineable palladium. Our mission here is complete. We can return to headquarters to start preparing to build a palladium mining outpost.
Understood, Ashley. I'm starting the orbital scanning procedure and searching for mineable palladium deposits. In the meantime, we should research palladium handling technology to be able to actually construct palladium mining stations.
all right, we're safe to head back home, I think. Once we get out of this field of landmines, fungal landmines. So we get this giant wave of attack and comes on my uranium base, and I've got to try to hold the line till like 7 a.m. when the power will come back online, when the sun will rise and the solar collectors will start again. And spoilers, I do not hold the line. I die to this giant wave. It wipes out that front base I have, and I managed to get back out in front of it, in front of my base. I don't have any defenses in my real base, so it's about to get wiped out if I get to it. So I sort of have the army sort of kite me, I kite the army rather, out into sort of the open plains, and I'm just like running around them in circles, sort of circle strafing them. And I was lucky enough to kill all the fast guys, and then just this huge blob of slower guys, and I'm just running in circles for like days in the desert, blasting away into the center of this blob of guys, till I eventually defeated them. It was really haggard, really rough. Not my finest moment. It was, I miscalculated my power draws, wasn't paying attention, and hoo boy, I paid for it. Just about everything got wiped out, but not actually everything. I was able to come back and rebuild what I had. I managed to save just enough things to get some extra research of stuff done back here in the main base. Corrosive guns and fireproof armor and acid spewers, all kinds of stuff that I want here. Just research it all. I wish there was a button that just like just research everything. I'm tired of clicking on stuff.
Base is under attack.
Is the base actually under attack? Looks like some mudmen spawned. Okay, so do we have a palladium concentration yet? No, we got to download the technology for it. Okay, 18 seconds and we'll have some palladium handling technology. We're ready to get on out there. Conquer this acid biome, what with its underground mushroom landmines and its aggressive yeast.
A new technology has been developed.
There it
New
is.
blueprints are available.
Orbital scanning finished. We have calculated a favorable location for palladium mining outpost. I am detecting multiple acidic yeast colonies in this area.
That's good. Maybe there will be fewer exploding mushrooms in that area. Either way, we should remember to use the geoscanner frequently.
Okay. We need to establish a palladium mining outpost.
Comet has a very interesting mineral composition.
Oh, comet. We don't care about comets. Let's go find ourselves some palladiums. This should be our main acid base out here. I might even go back and break down the one that we built up around that first acid yeast thing, because we have a finite number of outposts we can have spread out around the map. I actually don't know what that number is. Maybe I'll wait and see if we hit a limit, and I'll go back and remove the other one. But this is going to be our main acid plains outpost, so we could build it up a little chunkier, and we'll be able to do the good stuff with it too, because we'll have access to some palladium, so we could build our higher tier of gas.
Rift jump successful. Orbital scanning
Power.
was correct. I am detecting multiple rich palladium deposits nearby. Warning, acidic yeast activity is very high in this area.
Okay, let's look for an easily defendable position near a palladium deposit. And remember to build our base on anti-corrosive floor tiles. This biome is not going to give up its resources easily.
Once we establish a permanent outpost, we could also try to destroy the roots of the acidic yeast colonies. That should stop them from spreading further.
That could adversely change the ecological balance of this biome. Let's treat that option as a last resort.
New buildings.
Well, I don't know.
are
It seems like a pretty good
available
idea to me,
for
actually.
construction. One of our buildings was being destroyed.
No, let's not try to kill the sentient acid yeast that's trying to actively kill us. We wouldn't want to destabilize the biome. I haven't seen anything so far that looks like a nice starting spot for me. This guy's tenacious. Okay, here's some yeast. Let's go ahead and we're gonna ignore Ashley. We're gonna blow the hell out of that. Chased by all these giant buggers. Oh, this is like a main
Technology
yeast
has been
colony.
developed. New buildings are available
Hit
for
it with an orbital
construction.
strike. That did it. Not a problem that you can't handle with an orbital
A
strike.
new technology has been developed.
There aren't
New
many.
buildings are available for construction.
There's like some small scale little yeast factories around here. Oh, good. Oh, boy. A little hazardous there. Got a little stuck in. Okay, anyways, we're still looking for a place to build a base, theoretically. So I'm just kind of wandering around, popping the old radar scan. I'm looking for some place that's got some natural choke points. I'm looking for a place that's got some nearby slime to use as power, and then it has access to some palladium for us to mine as well. The place is lousy with bad guys here. Okay, this is sort of an interesting area up here, very choke pointy. If I could just survive. These great big bugs are troublesome.
Weapon dropped.
Oh! They ran right through the tornado and got me. Dang. Dang, dang, dang. They got me good there, boys. Tricky, troublesome, tremendous, trepidatious. It's a long walk up there. And it looks like most of the palladium I found is sort of down here in the southern area. It's alright, we'll do a little more scanning as we walk up there, and if needs be, we can come back down here towards a more resource-rich spot, if that is what it is. We're just gonna keep blasting away at the local wildlife and keep moving quick. There's so many guys. Have I mentioned how many guys there are in this? So many. Here's our stuff back.
A building has been destroyed.
Yeah, it's alright. I just tossed some turrets down. Ignore the buildings have been destroyed.
Has been developed. New buildings are available for construction.
You know, there really isn't any palladium up here.
Danger! Enemy creatures are closing
There's an attack coming in too.
Ready to fight.
Just what we needed. Okay, we're gonna shift our exploration. Oh my god. That's hitting me. So many things. We're gonna shift our exploration back down south towards where we were having better luck finding goodies.
One of our buildings has been destroyed.
There's some palladium right there. Oof. These baddies, they know how to hit. I'll give them that. Okay, never mind. We're just gonna go back towards right around where we spawned in. That was indeed one of the better spots to work with here. Oh my god, these guys are wrecking me. We might need to shift out of our immolator. I feel like that fire damage is not quite getting us where we need to go with some of these guys. We're gonna head over here and we'll start a base over by these copious acid pools. Oh yeah, we're dying. I think we're dying to the underground. Yeah, we're dying to the landmine stuff that we're walking into, unfortunately. Oh my god, this.
We can try to recover it later.
Dead again. This is a hostile biome. We do get to watch the orbital strike land on everybody that chased us, though. That's always fun.
New technology has been developed.
New buildings are available for construction.
Whew. This was tough. This was tough. Let's switch something up. Let's switch something up with maybe we'll try the repeater rifle.
Crafting completed.
Like a blue repeater rifle, and we'll get it in here. So the repeater rifle is a pretty solid. I think it's like what I'm talking, sort of a semi-auto. Boom! Each click is a shot. Boom! 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 Yeah, repeater rifle might be a good choice for some single target damage, and I still have like the likes of a lightning gun and a lot of my other AoE kind of things to blast down some of these hordes. We'll try out the repeater rifle a bit. Repeater rifle. Rifle goes burr. Yeah, that does actually a good number on these big rock guys. It probably sounds like I have to click furiously to do it, though. Maybe that's not as good. Alright, F it. We're gonna start a base. We just need something somewhere. What do I need? Not the extra stable floor. We need the anti-corrosive floors. Yeah, not a lot of I guess I could spread like all the way to the west here. So we could be a very wide base that sort of borders on the acid to the west and then to the acid to the east. Boo, 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 boo. It does okay. It's not a stunning amount of damage, but the DPS is decent. Yeah, so we'll expand a nice thick east to west base here, a nice girthy base. And we'll just have sort of a big wall along the top and a big wall along the bottom. And we'll pipe in some slime. Bob's your uncle. Nice. All right. Yeah, I could live with this repeater gun. It might. It's a little click heavy actually.
A new technology has been developed.
Getting the job done.
New
Why
blueprints
not?
are available for crafting.
Okay. We got a wall there. And maybe we need a little more stuff. We'll put another wall down here about. Whoops. What was that? Oh, it was if you hit if you hit shift too many times, it's like Windows thinks you're trying to turn on some accessibility settings. It makes that horrible beeping sound. Bloop. But I'm not trying to turn on accessibility. I'm trying to turn on dash. Extreme fire dash. Alright, we've got some rudimentary defenses in place. I mean, walls. Let's put down our outpost over here. Should be just fine. And we need some power online, so it's time for us to start pumping out the good stuff. The slime. Where my slime pumps at? Here we go. Okay, we got some slime pumping goodness. We just need to attach all these pipes together.
Element mines on the palladium deposits near our base and start mining the resource.
Rare element mines consume a lot of power. There's a natural abundance of refinable sludge in this biome. We could
Oh, I'm
easily
way ahead of
power
you,
our base
actually.
with gas power plants.
That is a good idea.
I'm all over
Do
this
not forget
sludge.
to secure our outpost with advanced defense towers. Setting up a few short-range radar stations would also be advised. They can monitor the growth of acidic yeast colonies. Warning! An aggressive horde is amassing near our base. Prepare to defend our base.
We got an aggressive horde coming in, apparently.
Not enough palladium.
And we're out of palladium. But this will get us started at least. So this will power 50 flammable gas eaches. And then I guess we'll just upgrade these when we get there later. But we can make 5 of these suckers. Maybe it's probably a good idea we made a wide base because we're gonna be wide on the buildings here.
New blueprints are available for crafting.
Okay. Power is coming up. It's going to take a minute to finish. We're going to have an incoming attack from the west. And we're not going to have any power for turrets, so it's going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. With lightning and repeater rifles. Maybe a fire tornado for good measure.
A new technology has been developed.
New blueprints are available for crafting.
I like this repeater rifle's good fun, actually. It's good fun.
Research completed.
Did we get anything else fun? Not really. We're still working on the fun stuff. Burst rifle, shotgun, high caliber rifle, blasters and plasma guns. Flamethrowers, floating mines, Oh, we do want better mortars. I did like the mortar tosser. Maybe we'll lean into those. Could also go a little deeper down the armor tree as well. Alright. This will have to do. Attack's coming in 1 second. We got a minute left.
Is heading towards our base. Prepare for an incoming attack.
I don't know if we're going to be able to do anything about this. Let's set up a radar. Might give us a bit of a boost here. Know which direction they're coming from. And we will go out and meet them. Oh, I also have a railgun I haven't shown you. Shoots a long line. Okay, I see him coming on the radar now. Start blasting them with the railgun. The railgun actually works really nicely if we have some sort of, you know, if we could see him coming, if we got a big horde, we could sort of kite him backwards and shoot down the line. Railgun's getting good work done for us here. And I think it's about time for the tornado! Ha ha ha! Ichuta solo tornado. Oh, that one's glorious. That tornado just killed like 1 billion indigenous life forms. Alright, that went great actually. No worries. We held that off pretty well. Okay, they want me to start mining palladium, and I do too, so I could upgrade our power structure here.
Power. This may affect our wind turbines.
Palladium, palladium, palladium. And then we run our power line back to him.
All wind has stopped. Our wind turbines are down.
It's alright, we don't have any wind turbines. Ooh. Stepped on the landmine there. Those landmines are wrecking us. Wrecked them, damn near killed them. Alright, we've got some basic palladium mines up. Maybe we'll surround them with a little bit of anti-corrosive goodies just in case, just to make sure that doesn't become an issue. But I don't think we have any of the yeast colonies quite by us here, so we should be all good. Radar. We'll make sure we've got some radar on the eastern end of our base here to keep an eye on stuff. Alright. And the palladium is beginning to flow. We got another deposit up here.
The wind is coming back. Wind power is returning to normal.
Base is under attack.
Is it? I don't believe you. Oh, these darn squids.
One of our buildings has been destroyed.
Not squids. What's the word? Snails. Same thing. Squids, snails. Basically identical creatures. Blowing up my slime pumps. Okay. So we've dealt with the squid snails, and we are just continuing to sort of expand around and look for places that we could set up more palladium mines.
An energy connector has been destroyed. Base is
More
under
stuff's getting
attack.
blasted. What's it getting blasted by? Something to the east. Is there another? No, there's more baddies out here. You sneaky baddies. Repairs, repairs, repairs. Okay. We can upgrade our power plants now with some of the palladium we've gotten. And I see a bunch more to the west, which is excellent. We can go start expanding this a ways. We just gotta blow up some bog creatures. Yes, die, trash. Okay. I will say it's a little fun at first, and then after a while, having to build the fancy flooring everywhere gets a tad annoying. I guess we don't technically need to build it anywhere. We would only need to build it if we thought...
I'm detecting a sudden change in air humidity
Ooh,
and wind
humidity.
speed. A fog is forming up.
We'd only need to really worry about building them if the yeast would get by it. Whoa, getting blasted. And we can always sort of prune the yeast ourselves, I suppose.
Solar panels and wind turbines. Based on my calculations, it shouldn't last for long.
Who threw that?
Base is under attack.
A lot of long-range creatures in this biome, which is causing me some grief too. Alright. The palladium is ticking. Maybe we'll stop spending it because our goal is to get 10k, so we'll just push towards our goal.
The
Makes
fog
good
is
sense.
clearing up. This will make things easier for us.
There's so much opportunity to pump slime. I feel like we should just be doing it as a matter of fact. As a matter of course. If we see slime, we pump slime. I don't know about you guys. If I see slime, I hit the like button.
Finish constructing the hyperparticle condenser for the Rift station. I am detecting increased activity amongst the local fauna.
The attacks against our outposts are increasing in strength and numbers. We should build up more advanced defensive towers to protect our base. Acidic yeast is also creeping up from all directions. This area is very rich in resources, so we can establish additional mining bases if we need to expand our economy.
Alright, we got 1,200 more sludge coming in here. These guys, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. With the sludge it doth floweth. The sludge of Capistrano. Alright, looking good. I'm enjoying this base. What we haven't done really is building the defenses. Let's probably do something about that. About to have our power in a really, really good spot, so we can go nuts on some AI hubs. These 12 things I just built are going to spit out 12 times 75 flammable gas. So 10 would be 750, and then another 150 on top of that is 800, 900. So 900. I could build 18 gas power plants.
New blueprints are available for crafting.
Good lord, we're gonna be rich. Rich in the power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh my god. Oh my god. Unlimited power. Now all that's left is to finish building. All that's left is to get our base murdered by an aggressive horde. Okay, where's this horde coming from? From the north. We're totally out of power at the moment. Oh, I just didn't have things linked up properly, I think. What is our power draining? Oh yeah, okay, I see. So we've only got the gas filtering plants right now draining a huge amount of power, and not the gas power plants up to use the filtered gas. So we're in the red at the moment, but that's okay. That'll be fixed soon enough. In the meantime, let's set up some defenses. Start with plasma towers. I don't think I've used any plasma towers before. Let's put a bunch of those up. Sounds like a good time. over here as well. We could build a bunch of all goodies and things. Excellent. It's all going according to plan. Okay, everything's coming from the north, so they are probably going to wreck some of my outer bases out there, but we'll figure out something to do with them. There it is, the power's starting to come online. Plus 16, 17, 18,000.
Warning! I'm detecting
So
a
much
massive
power.
swarm of creatures heading towards our outpost. We still have some time to prepare. Strengthen our defenses as much as possible. This attack is going to be very strong.
We finished
The
off.
mining operation must have disturbed a lot of them. We're going to need advanced defense towers to repel these creatures. Also, let's not forget about setting up minefields on the critical paths toward our outpost.
We finished off the collection quest that we had, so it triggered the giant enemy attack wave. So we definitely need some defenses on the western edge here.
Base is under attack.
All kinds of stuff. It looks like that first attack that was coming maybe got overwritten and canceled by the second big attack, because I was expecting them to hit from the north like any second now, and they never did. So, which leads me to believe maybe whatever that was got overwritten. Which was nice. It gives us a little extra time to prepare. Higher level railgun towers, that sounds fun.
A new technology has been developed. New buildings are
It
available.
looks like
for
everything's
construction.
coming from the west-northwest, so it's all going to hit right along this western edge of the base. So that's why I am just fortifying the hell out of it right now. It's a lot of stuff there. I think we'll be okay. Maybe we'll do... What can we do? Fire traps, cryo traps. Let's liberally spread cryo traps all around out here. Sounds like fun.
Construction blocked. Too many buildings of this type.
Oh, too many traps, apparently. Alright. And we're still just insane on the power creation. We might as well put up some power storage to work with as well. I like it. I think what we'll do is I think we'll finish off this last big attack coming towards us here. And hopefully once we've done so, we'll be in a good spot. And I'm going to continue to build out this base a little bit. One thing I've got percolating in my brain is I know we've got... we researched the synthesizers, so things that let us turn like 500 energy per second into 2 carbonium per second. So it's like turning our energy into a permanent source of at least carbonium or ironium. I think our carbonium's pretty great, but we could use it. We could juice up the ironium numbers a bit. I might just make giant gas plants out here, and then use the power that they create to synthesize tons of ironium for us. Maybe solve the ironium problems of the future by a little extra investment. But that'll be somewhat boring, I think, so I don't need to show you guys that. I think. Let's see. Spread our flooring out a little bit more while we're waiting.
Base is under attack.
1 minute, and they come. This might be a pretty chunky attack wave, now that I think about it. If you remember what I was saying before, the one that did the attack wave from the desert side was very chunky. And this is the main attack on the acid side, so could be a whole thing here. Maybe we'll try to double our walls wherever possible, just to give us a little extra space. So I think our biggest problem, I imagine, is probably going to be like all those long-range guys that have been giving us grief, right? Here, I'll spread out. Repair towers actually is a really good idea. To automatically repair damage that comes in, that'll help quite a bit, I think. All right.
I can sense the ground shaking. I estimate a few thousand creatures running at our base.
I estimate a
They
few
are
thousand
very
creatures.
close. Prepare yourself, Ashley.
We've
Coming
made all
west
the
by
preparations that we
northwest.
could.
I
Let's
think we
go
want him
out
to
and
come
meet them.
through here. They're probably gonna wreck my beautiful mines up here. Let's go. Let's do it. Come on, do it! You guys ever watch Predator? Now, was that a great movie? Whew. I love some Arnold Schwarzenegger, some of that classic 90s action. Alright, they're coming. We're gonna open up with the railgun. Blasting away. Because if we can catch them in long lines, it'll work for the best. Alright, doesn't look too bad. Looks like a very manageable numbers incoming. We'll drop an orbital strike on their heads while they're all grouped up around that. Okay, now we're starting to see more and more coming in. But it's going well. So far we haven't even used any turrets, really. We've just been fighting them off ourselves. So
Base is under attack.
it's getting... I can see the mini-map looks a little haggard. We're starting to get pushed back a little. Ooh, coming from another direction. And we've got to start switching guns because we're starting to run out of our ammo for that railgun. There's a lot of guys coming still. Look at that mini-map, this big red blob. Good lord. It's just as we feared. Oh my god, there's so many. Guys, there's a lot of bad guys when you play on Brutal. Starting to fall back to the turrets. To the traps. Alright. We're doing a pretty decent job. I think most of them, so they are for the most part avoiding walking on the acid, which is giving us really great choke points to work with here. And our long range turrets, our artillery, our bomb teleporters and things, I think are doing a pretty decent job blasting stuff up. Even if I step back for a second and I stop shooting, I think our turrets are doing alright. Everything looks good here. Yeah, we're gonna hold this off easy. There's quite a horde.
Not enough ammunition to operate defensive towers.
The artillery turrets are actually offline. Ran out of ammo. Ooh, I think we got it though.
I'm not detecting any large groups of creatures.
Ooh, we've unlocked an acid spewer.
We've fended off the attack.
We've defended our outposts against hordes of acid-spitting monsters, giant snails, underground death beetles, and all-devouring yeast. I call it a day.
Ashley,
Call it a
we
day.
have gathered enough palladium to construct the hyperparticle condenser. We should return to HQ to start the construction process.
That is an excellent idea. This outpost will remain here as a permanent base of operations. We can even build up more mines and factories here to boost our economy. All of the resources that are produced in this location will be automatically transferred to our HQ as long as the orbital scanner is operational. Long-distance rift travel and resource transportation are not possible without it.
We did it, folks. We've conquered the acid biome. Like I said, I think I'm gonna polish off the base a little bit in my own downtime here, and then what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do next time? Next up on the next episode of Riftbreaker, we've got the volcanic area coming up next. That should be good times. Should be good times. I'll probably also do the Rhodonite concentration off stream, off video, and we'll plan to tackle the volcanic area next. See all those goodies. I think the Rhodonite is pretty boring stuff, and I think building out this base will be just sort of more of what we've already done, so nothing too exciting for you. But we should be super well equipped for going into some of the proper endgame DLC content and fighting off some crazy waves. That was a pretty good wave there too, actually, but I think our weaponry is also in a good place too. We were slaying quite a bit with the railgun. Here's one of the fun things I haven't shown you yet. The game actually keeps statistics on like everything. It's a mind-bogglingly detailed statistics. If you take a look, damage inflicted by type, we've done 1.12 million energy damage, 994,000 cryo damage, damage inflicted by various weapons. So we've used the shard gun the most, then charged bombs, then immolators, then mortars. That's interesting. Damage taken, we've mostly taken physical damage. Consumables that we've used. We used a lot of bioscanner turrets, a lot of landmines, various playtime. Oh, playtime with the different outposts and different places I've been to. Oh, interesting. Different skills used. Player deaths. There's been a couple deaths. Don't worry about those. But you can also, there's a buildings tab, which shows you all of the turrets that you've used, all of the buildings that you've built, the resources that you've gathered. It's crazy. It's crazy. You can go over to the monsters. You can see damage inflicted by the monsters, neutral creatures killed, enemies killed. We've killed 35,200 enemies so far this game. Isn't that wild? That's wild. We've blown up 35,000. Oh man, I love it. Fun times. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. This was supposed to be episode number 5, but I think it's episode number 4 because we lost episode number 4 because I forgot to unmute myself. C'est la vie. This one was fun. I like the acid plains. That's sort of a cool area to explore. Next up, the volcanic terrain. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. I appreciate the eyeballs, the ears, the support, the love, and I'll see you guys around.